The gear, the gear, the kryptonite of every prepper. I am no exception. And today we're going to be talking about the gear that you don't need and what we preppers literally waste money on. Let's first get something out of the way. Prepping is not cheap. Not cheap at all. And when many of us feel that we throw money away because we purchase gear that we don't use, I don't know about y'all, but it irks me. I mean, let's cut through the BS. Gear is cool. And we're just going to talk about gear today. We're not going to talk about skills. I know a lot of folks are very tempting to go in there and say skills trump gear all day long. But we're talking about gear. Okay? Today's topic is gear, not skills. Again, let's cut through the BS. And let's discuss a bit of things that we preppers, we literally waste money on gear that sometimes we don't even use. Alright, so let's first start and let's go over the tactical overload. Listen guys, I am guilty of having an uncomfortable amount of firearms. Uncomfortable for those who don't like them. So, but again, you get to that tactical, and you're like, all right, man, I'm gonna put this scope and this rifle, and then I'm gonna put this tripod and this and that, and let's say for example, because you know it's a lot easier to criticize than to admit your own mistakes. So I'm gonna be pointing my mistakes, a few, not all, because if I give you all my mistakes, you're probably gonna run for the hills. But a few. So for my Savage Model 42, you guys saw that I have a new red dot in there. What I got to begin with was this one right here. This is a cheap red dot that I got on Amazon. I think it was like $19. Nothing to brag about. It holds 0, but the size was throwing me off, and I was like, it's kind of ugly, you know, like big tube and whatnot, and it hit, which is like not that cool. I went and I got a different one. Love it. Don't get me wrong. Love it. Was there something wrong with this one? No, which is too But here's the problem. I'm not getting that $19 back. So that's $20. That is my time wasted away. And we have to see dollars as our time, because we exchange time for money. Am I going to be able to use it? I hope so. I hope so. I have many others that over the years I have upgraded, and I always think maybe I should have waited and got what I wanted, not just to settle for something to get by, and then because now I have 2 expenses instead of just 1. So I went with the other one, the tactical. I mean, yeah. The thing is that we all do it. We all do it. Was this as reliable as the other one? Well, I'm beating the crap out of the other one, and as far as being reliable, this one, it was not visually pleasing. But that's the truth. We do that. So, take for example, the paracord bracelets. You think I didn't fall into that one? You think I didn't made a few of those paracord or bracelets? Of course I did. Of course I did. I did one for D. I did one for Last when he was little. I did one for me. They had the whistle. They had the fire striker. They had all of that. Yeah. There should be somewhere in a box. My time wasted yet again. So, you see what I'm saying? I'm giving you things that I had done. Let me give you another example. This is fresh. This is fresh because I have pointed this one out a few times. This knife, this Gerber knife, you all remember me saying I got it on discount and I bought it. And I said, oh, I'm going to test it. I don't buy it yet until I test it. Yeah. Still brand new, y'all. Still brand new. Even that I got it on special, it's a knife that I didn't need it. It's a knife that it is sitting there collecting dust because I had not tested it. Because I'll be honest with y'all, I use this more than anything else. I use my Leatherman more than anything else. So it's like, what am I doing? But it looked cool. It matched my back collar and everything, man. The Dr. Cool got me there. Let me give you another example. Radios. Ball fan. Look at this, y'all. Big antenna, you know, the thing for your shoulder, the whole thing. I have even the GMRS license. Do they work? Absolutely. They work. The one that I use the most, this one. Why? Waterproof. AA batteries. I kept 4 AA batteries in case if I had to remove it. I can charge it. Has a lighter. Not a lighter. I light everything. More rugged than the other one. Which one is cooler? I want you to tell me which one is cooler. Look at this one. All the buttons and all of that. All futuristic. This one is plain. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you all, this have a thing so you don't make the same mistakes. Because it's a lot easier to point people's mistakes. But it's a lot harder to see yourself in the mirror and point at yourself and be like, man, you're screwing the pooch, Billy. Or whoever your name is. So yeah, those, you know, like the Percor bracelet, it was a gimmick, honestly. They look cool, yeah, absolutely, but come on. Now, let's talk about realistic bug out setups. Listen, guys, if you can carry an 80-pound bag and then a 10-pound rifle and then 20 pounds of ammo. I mean, we discussed this 20 pounds. We discussed about this, about weight and whatnot. I mean, God bless you then. The reality is that maybe once upon a time we were able to do it. Once upon a time we did it. Can we still do it right now? Or better yet, even if you can still do it today, can you do it 10 years from now? Ooh, that's a good one, right? Because we all think about we are right now or what we used to be, but not what we're going to be and how beat up we're going to be 10 or 20 years from now. I guarantee you that back pain you have today, you didn't thought about having it 10, 15 years ago. So the unrealistic mindset that we all get in regards to how we set up gear, no, we have to switch that thing. We have to switch it and see and be realistic. First of all, we're not in a movie. Second, every day that passes, we're getting older. And thirdly, I don't know about y'all, but things hurt when they're not supposed to be hurting. And I think we all going that way. So 80-pound bag for me, for bugging out, it is completely and 100% unrealistic. I'm just going to come out and say it. Here's another one. We need to have redundancies. Okay, to a point, I agree with you to a point. Not to justify what I do, not to justify it. To me, I have a winter bag that I use 6 months out of the year, and I have a smaller one that I use whatever is not winter. I don't know, about the 3 weeks that I have. It makes my life easier. And in order for me not to take from one and put in the other one, I have a lot of things in there that they are repeated. Can I go with just the winter bag and that's it? Absolutely, 100%. Thank God I was able to afford it and I did that. But if not, you don't have to do it. In fact, here's something that I have encountered quite a bit. People with, they only say freeze-dried food. I am one of those people who will tell you flat out, man, Peak Refuel is one of the best freeze-dried meals ever. But what good are they if you have 5 years of freeze-dried food and you don't even have a cheap stove to cook them or to hydrate them? Yeah. In regards to the whole duplicate of things, and again, I'm not bashing on anybody, I'm bashing on myself now. I always go every single season with issues in regards to rifles, regards to handguns. It's like I'm like a woman trying to choose a purse. You know how it is. You ladies know exactly what I'm talking about. I decided. I told you all. I shared with y'all what I decided. I'm going with specific ones, and that is it. That is not money wasted in my opinion, because I am passing that on. But do you need all that duplicate stuff? You don't. That redundancy, is it good? Sure, to a point. But excess without balance, it's just waste. And I'm just gonna come out and say it. Excess without balance is waste, and we all have to be very careful when it comes to that. And again, luxury preps, just be mindful. Take for example, if you have a $500-600 tent and never leaves the shelf that you have it in, what's the point? You get what I'm saying? What is the point? You may have night vision and you can't even afford food. I don't know about you, but I think food is more important than night vision. In my opinion, that's it. Priority matters. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. That's just me. I will come on and say that's just me. Here's another one. I'm going to buy things without training. A tourniquet does not make you a medic. It does not. A rifle does not make you a shooter. I love it how many folks say, oh, I can take a 3, 4, 6, 800 meter shot. Are you sure? Because you were missing at 50 yards. Isn't it better for you to say, my comfort level is up to 150 yards. I'm good at up to 150 yards. Let everybody talk whatever they want. Don't worry about none of that. You have trained within that distance. You are proficient within that distance. Forget about everybody else. Don't worry about none of that. That's just noise. A radio. Having a radio does not make you a hand operator. It does not. Remember, I said that we were not going to be talking about skills, just gear. But at the end of the day, if you don't practice with the gear, they are worthless. Guys, this is something important for you all to understand, because things are not doing well. They are not doing well worldwide. They're not doing well internally, and definitely are not doing well economically. So we have to see what are the things that we want and the things that we need. We have to remove all the nonsense and focus on the gear that truly matter to us. You see what I'm saying? Forget about everything else and focus on the things that you and you alone need. Not want, need. If you think you're gonna need something that is better than this red dot, do not waste your time or money buying this one so you can upgrade later on. Don't do that. Patience is a virtue. Spend your money once and you're done. If you're not gonna need a, 10th knife, don't buy one just because it was on special. It is money that you now have collecting dust in there and you're not using it. If you are better off with a simple radio, you don't need to have the other ones that are more complicated. They require a license. You don't need to have none of that. I'm pointing out the things that I have done wrong, so you learn through my mistakes. With that being said, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like always, rock on, rip on, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye, everybody. If you'd like to support the channel, check out the links in the pinned comment below. Consider joining our Frontier Prepper Squad or let an ad or two run. It really does make a difference. And always remember, those who prepare today will not struggle tomorrow.